Coach, with a lot of young talent obviously in the room, what steps have you kind of seen from Gideon Ituka? It seems like he's added a little bit going into this spring, and just how have you seen his mental approach as well?
I think the thing for Gid, he lost some weight, and I think he's finally being able to feel comfortable moving around and having functionability. He looks fast, he looks explosive. Mentally, he's all the way there. I think he's a really good learner. He's had very limited mistakes when he stepped on the field. He's gotten some reps with the ones, and he flashed when he was with the ones as well. I'm really excited about him in his future.
Coach, there was a lot of movement kind of on this roster. The running back position was one that was really in touch. What made you so confident about the guys in the room this offseason, and what have you kind of seen so far this spring?
I think what made me confident about them is the way that they come to work every day, the way they came to work last year. The cool thing about the running back room is the camaraderie that's built inside of it. I've been to a lot of different places, and I played the position, and this is a position that can become overly selfish, and when that happens, I think it can get really stale in that room, but that's not what's happening here, and it's really cool when you see guys out there that are all getting excited for each other, and that's another thing that built my confidence up for the room that we had.
It would have been easy for someone like Cade to not stick around given the role that he didn't have on the field. What has stood out most to you about what he's been able to do and why he's back here?
Yeah, I think he's grown tremendously in a leadership role. Obviously he's one of the hardest workers that I've been around. I love the way he comes to work every day, just like I love the way all those guys come to work every day. But his versatility. He's got the ability to do just about anything that we ask him to. He can line up and can split them out and get mismatches against linebackers. And his ability to be able to run the ball between the tackles. His football IQ, when he has the ball in his hands, I think he makes really good decisions. I could talk about him forever. I'm very pleased with what I see from him.
Devin, what do you see out of Dylan Jones in terms of adjusting to this offense that's kind of put him in a position to be one of those top guys?
His decisiveness, I think his ability to make really quick decisions that are really good decisions and to do it consistently is something that stands out to me. The physicality that he plays with a chip on his shoulder. And I love watching him run the football.
What are your thoughts as far as Gary in the offense? And he's obviously been banged up for a week or so, but how do you see he's been fitting into the offense and kind of what stands out to you?
I'd say the same thing that I kind of said about Dylan. I think he makes really good decisions when he has the ball in his hands, and his ability to be versatile in the passing game as well. He's got a unique skill set and his ability to be able to create separation not only against linebackers but I think against safeties too. He played a lot of receiver when he was in high school, so that's helped him translate to be able to do all those things that we ask him to do as well.
Coach, you signed 3 tailbacks in the last class that were all kind of sold on playing a different offense. What was just maybe their reaction, when Coach Longo left and the change to Coach Grimes here? And was there any sell job you had to have, or did they all believe this was going to be good for them?
I think they all kind of believed it was going to be good for him. Obviously Coach Grimes was an offensive lineman. He coached offensive line, so I feel like that's every running back's dream, to be able to play in an offense where an offensive lineman is calling the plays. Not saying that we're going to run the ball all the time, but I think that was something that they gravitated towards. He has a real good understanding of just about every position on offense, specifically the running back position, and he helped me be able to translate the information of the guys in a way that we thought they were going to be able to play fast, and I'm thankful for that.
Going back to Dylan real quick, we haven't had too much of a chance to talk to him since he hasn't played yet. What is he like away from the field in terms of how he works and just what he's like to be in the room with?
He's just a true professional. You guys will see when you talk to him. He's a great kid. He loves the game of football. He's determined to be the best, and I think that's something that's unique to him.
What went into Cade's role late last season? Average 8 yards a carry. I get it wasn't necessarily always in the first quarter, but he didn't carry in the last 5 games. Was it more you just wanted 2 guys, or was there something you felt like he needed to elevate to put himself?
It was more just wanted to run the 2-back system with what we were doing last year, and yeah.
With the amount of rotation that we've seen at the position so far this spring, is the working vision that this group is going to operate sort of by committee, or is there sort of a plan to maybe eventually establish a lead back?
We'll have to see. Get through spring ball, get through fall camp, and go from there.
The past 2 years, at least in this point of the year, there's kind of been a lead veteran back in the room. Now it's a little bit more up for grabs. What effect has that had on the guys in the room?
I think it's brought excitement to the room. They all understand that they all have equal opportunity to be able to step foot on the field, and It's going to be about who can make the most plays, who's the most consistent, who plays with the most physicality, and who gives us the best chance to win on Saturdays.
Does it feel like this offense has a little more physicality and versatility just with you got fullback usage, multiple tight ends? Do you think that helps the running back, or is it something you've noticed?
You've been to practice. What do you think?
I think so, but I don't coach the running backs.
Yeah, no, it absolutely does.
What are some of the differences? Because obviously wide zone was a very popular concept in the previous offense, but it's probably more popular in this one. What are some of the differences in how that's run and what's being asked of the running backs from last year to this year?
I think just the consistency with the decision making that we have to have when we're running the play. You know what I mean? Obviously, there's a lot of moving parts and a lot of different variables that we ask them to have when we're running it and we call it, and them just being able to gain the comfortability and confidence inside of it.
Four scholarship paths is a bit lighter than you guys have had in recent years. Are you confident enough that that's good enough to withhold a Big Ten kind of season, or do you guys feel like you might need to make an additional?
No, I'm confident.